Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakurazo here, coming at you guys with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Product 2021 tier list for you guys. I did this last year, and I had a lot of fun with this, especially because it was nice to see what people agreed with, disagreed with in the comments. If you guys don't know, I'm taking all the product in 2021 and ranking it from F to S. I know, you guys read the title. Good job. But before we get into this video, I want to give two shoutouts. The first shout out to Totally Search, who made this tier list for me. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. And the second person, the Harv Scrapman. Now, he's made a couple thumbnails for me in the past and even edited a few videos. Overall, really great guy. I've talked to him a couple times. He's just so helpful, not only to me, but other content creators in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. And, you know, he hasn't even asked me for anything. Like, he's like, oh, if you want to shout me out, that's great. You know, just ping me when it goes live. Just such a great guy. So I'm going to ask my audience a favor. Now, normally I ask you guys to leave a like and subscribe, right? Instead of doing that on this video, now you can do it on this video if you like. He also likes to do a lot of things on this channel called Nerd In. Now, this will be linked as the pinned comment and in the description. I've watched these Marvel Spider-Man Let's Plays, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. I love them. I think they were really fun. I definitely think they're underrated, especially for the quality that they are. Maybe, you know, they're not like, the top best of the best, but they're really good. And I want to know, can my viewers get this to, like, can we at least double the subs? In fact, you know what? Let's aim for 75, a clean 75 to 100, right? We're gonna have two goals, 75 and then 100. Can you guys go over and subscribe and just try out these Let's Plays? Leave a like, say Saki sent you. That would be really awesome. But like usual, if you guys want to support me and you're buying cards off TCG Player, please use my affiliate link down in the description below. Helps out the channel to no additional cost. So you can consider being a YouTube channel member. And with all that boring stuff out of the way, we're gonna get right into it. So, Blazing Vortex. I'm gonna put this in D tier, and I'm gonna tell you why it's almost pure garbage. In this set, there were only two cards that were worth more than $5, being Underworld Goddess and Pot of Prosperity. This set fell off very hard because, you know, a lot of the archetypes didn't make a splash. Now, I would call this garbage not only because of the values and how you can buy a box and not make $10 back, and this is for multiple boxes. If you get a case, most likely at least a third of your boxes aren't making $10 back. That doesn't mean the other 8 are making you profit or close either, right? Another 4 probably making you like a fourth of your money back. You pull Underworld Gods, that's cute, that's 20 bucks. And then everything else was garbage. But a lot of the cards that Konami wanted to pop off really didn't. This card had a hand trap called Muradora. If I mispronounce, I apologize. And it never saw any play. People tinkered with it. I tinkered with it. And it overall just was not that good. A lot of the other secrets were good. It had Eldritch Fusion that saw 0 play. And I mean not even a little bit of play. Absolutely 0 play. The archetypes like S-Force just fell off. The only good cards in here is Tri-Brigade Kit. Goddess just is good, I guess. It's just the problem is it doesn't see much play, right? If you took out Goddess as a card, nobody would really notice in the game, right? Yes, it has a few uses, but it's not really anything big. And then you have Pot of Prosperity. Without Pot of Prosperity, this set would flop on its feet. Now, Armed Dragons are very fun, but they're not a good deck overall. They're very casual, and they rely on basically generic dragon cards. This set is probably the worst actual main set of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I've seen in a few years. And a lot of people like to think of, you know, Donna Majesty and a few others. I would put it for Blazing Vortex for sure. Now, for the tins. Now, I am definitely going forward between A and S for this set. And overall, I'm going to put this in A, right, where it could have been almost perfect, essentially. Maybe not almost fantastic. It is fantastic. It's just almost perfect. Now, the reason why I'm not thinking, while it is good, is because it gave us the reprints we desperately needed. Now, a lot of people might be thinking to themselves, well, it doesn't have droplets. It doesn't have access code. What are you talking about? Well, the issue is because of these tins getting delayed, which is another reason I'm putting in A tier, not S tier, is because this was the worst tin to delay. If you guys don't know, we get our tins during the summertime. With this one, we got in October. I am taking a step down from S because of that, and we really needed these cards. And at that point, there were so many cards we needed to reprint, they couldn't all fit into this set. We got a lot of good cards, obviously, but the why it goes into A is while this set is amazing, the product quality isn't that good. It's not that bad. I like to complain about it a lot, but it isn't that bad. Now comparing it to old Yu-Gi-Oh, where it is like a few years back, yes, it is pretty bad overall. But current, it's pretty all right for most part. But my issue is that the value kind of fell off very quickly. There's a lot of $1 to $3 cards, which is fine because that means there's a lot of value. But they were also a lot more than $20, so that pissed a lot of people off. So with those reasons, that's why I'm putting it at A tier. Now, we're going to go to Ancient Guardians. I'm going to call this pure filler because it didn't really have any good reprints. The archetypes did not make a splash, right? Yes, I know they got a little more support later on, but nobody plays these. Nobody knows what the set does. Everyone hyped this set up. They were like, oh, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. Now, people might be thinking to themselves, oh, well, it has a few good collector rares, right? On likely, you're not going to pull collector's rares, number one. Number two, they always choose generic collector rares. And of course, they can't miss every single one. Yes, Pranker Top's a collector. That's pretty cute. And there's like maybe one other one. But overall, the set's garbage, right? I'm not even going to... I would never advise people to even get a pack of this for free. Like, ask if you were getting this at locals. Let's say they were out of every other pack. What you should do is you should go up to them and be like, hey, can I just get half credit? The set is worthless. You know, and the archetypes aren't even fun to play. The bear one looks cool though. I will say that. Then we have the structure decks for Slifer and Obelisk. Now, I am going to be very, how would I say this? I'm going to be extremely biased, and I'm going to put this in A tier, and I'm going to explain why. Number one, the reprints were pretty good, along with getting Harpy's Feather Duster was really, really nice. Now, we didn't get the best of the best reprints here, but we got a pretty good one and a few others. But the big issue of why this is going to A, because it's with structure decks, I have to look at sealed only. In sealed only, with Obelisk and Raw, or not Raw, Obelisk and Slifer, is just super, super fun. If you guys didn't know, I went to Anime Midwest, and and some of my friends ended up picking up these structure decks, and they don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! As much anymore. They used to be competitive players, now they're not, but they want to play some Yu-Gi-Oh! And we ended up playing this, and we played this for hours of sealed play. I think when it comes to very casual, fun sealed play, especially if you're an older collector, and maybe you just never had that time in life where you played that much Yu-Gi-Oh! But you know the basic rules, this is I would really pick up sealed. It's really, really fun. You know, I think the cards could have been a little bit better, but the sealed is like S. It could have been, you know, must buy, and it's still pretty good to keep the sealed, but I'm going to say it could have been almost perfect. I think if they switched out just a few cards, even though, you know, I think there were better cards that could have synergized. Like, I think Golden Apples was a terrible card to put in here. It could have been perfect, right? But it really is an A plus when it comes to a structure deck. Was it meta relevant? No, but I don't think every structure deck needs to be meta relevant. So I'm not really putting that in my equation unless it's a positive thing. Now, Burst of Destiny. Well, actually, before we get to Burst of Destiny, let's go through the other core sets. Let's go through Lightning Overdrive. Um, I'm gonna put this in C. Now, Lightning Overdrive isn't a bad set overall. It's just some of the cards like Amazement's completely flopped, which sucks because it was basically a multi-faker on crack, is what they put on here. Amazements were a good engine, they just never really saw much play. Bloody Rose Dragon's a pretty good secret. We had some Drytron support. We had the Albion Fusion, but this set was very 50-50 with this card. It had some good cards, it had some bad cards, and it didn't really impact the meta as much, which isn't always a bad thing, but it never really added to it as well. And a lot of the cards in here, like Albion, are relevant, like, you know, when we get the structure decks, which I think is in March, right? So why did we need to get Albion this early? Which is my big question, right? Again, some of the other cards were all right overall. I think the Vinyl was a pretty good card. Again, it had some good cards, right? I would probably put it as a C+. Like, it's very in between here. I think if Lightning Overdrive, if Amazement's had an impact, I would have put it in B. If they had more of an impact, I would have put in, hey, it's a pretty good set, just has some flaws, is what it is. Along with the value in Lightning Overdrive isn't that good. If you guys are watching this, though, the Starlights are pretty good, but it's very hard to pull a Starlight. The Starlights, I would put an A tier, probably A to S, right? Good Starlights overall. It also had, again, I think this set also had Frost. Oh, yeah, this set also had Frost, which was really good. Evil Twin Frost. So it had Frost, Albion, Beta. You know, it had some good cards. It's overall an average set, just could have been a lot better. But sealed boxes are $50. If you actually want to grab some sealed, that's not bad either. We're also just going to put this in A. We're just going to put the same place, you know, is what it is. Then let's go to... Let's just get this out of the way. Ice Barrier Structure Deck was pretty awful, especially because the one reprint that could have been good, which was a pointer, got put as a super in OTS. And a pointer is a card where it's very good and it does get bought out here and there when it had only a solo printing as a common. But the big issue with it is that it wasn't that often. So when we got the super rare, it was good enough. Then they released the structure deck not too long after, and it has as common. And at that point, nobody wants it, right? It had Crackdown, which was a crazy, crazy $2-3 card, which is almost unaffordable to the average player. Like literally, they did spice up the ice, you know, the archetype. The archetype still is terrible because you really can't fix ice barriers. Just leave your mistake in the past and leave it as is, right? So it didn't have good reprints. The deck completely flopped. It wasn't fun from what I've heard. Just a complete utter fail to the point where when we had a scalping problem, this was the only product that was not scalped. And we had Blazing Vortex scalped, which was almost pure garbage. And then for the final reason why I'm going to put this as the worst release is because the community did this to themselves, and I understood why Konami sometimes doesn't listen to us. And you guys might be wondering, why is that? Well, there was a structure deck pull where we could have had a Madolche structure deck, where we could have got all the Madolche cards reprinted, which, if you guys don't know, that deck was extremely expensive. Magdalens were like $30 before Dual Overload. You know, in 2020, putting sets ultras and commons were $7-8. Common tiramisus were about $10. You know, ultras being like 30s, you know, gold being like 17, right? Who cakes were like $10 each. Messenger Lotto rares were 3/4s, right? Angeli was quite a bit of money before her reprinted Battles of Legends Armageddon. They're slowly but surely trickling with Dolces in, but it would have been better to have a structure deck. We could have had the Tour Guide structure deck. There was another Cyber Dragon structure deck we could have got. There was a, you know, I don't know if I mentioned Tour Guide because of how iconic that card is in the game, would have been an amazing structure deck, and there were many, many more structure decks. But we, well, the OCG community especially, decided to come together and completely waste it. I blame this entire structure deck on the community. And people might be thinking, well, Konami could have made better cards. Sure, but if we're going to waste our votes like this, like at this point, Konami is better throwing off at a dartboard. Rant over. Then let's get to... Let's go to Legendary Duelist Season 2. Alright, now, people are going to get very upset at this. I'm going to put this in A tier. And I'm going to explain why. Legendary Duelist Season 2 will always be the best Legendary Duelist because we got reprints that we needed for a long time. We got all the train reprints we needed, from like Urgent Schedule being like a $45 card, Libe being a ton of money, like 20s to 30s. We got a lot of the Harpy cards getting reprinted, giving us a lot more value. We had Bingo Machine Go, which is a card to help Blue Eyes decks get reprinted as well. We also had some new cards as well to help. We had the new Blue Eyes monster as well, which is really, really awesome. So we got a really cool new support for Blue Eyes, which I know that people are tired of DM support, but this one was actually pretty good. And it was definitely more collector based, and they were promos. And the best thing about this set is that the promos were literally almost all good. Meaning that you would pull a promo, no joke. Like, let's say you had a chance, and it wasn't, you know, the odds weren't exactly in your favor, but you had about a 20% chance to pull a promo. No, you know what? That's about a 25 to 30% chance to pull a promo and make your money back if you got this for $15. Not to mention the dice in the packs. Over 2/3 of your money back off just the promo card itself, right? Along with, they looked very cool. Awesome upgrades. The product quality was amazing. The dice looked awesome. And you have the rares and other holographics being pretty good as well. To a point where commons, like I believe it's called Feather Storm, being about $3 common. Cyber Dragon Seeger being a $2-3 common. Like, the bulk is amazing in this set, right? The set, honestly, you know what? You know what? I'll put it to an S. I don't care. This product was amazing. Because it was great for the time, but when it came out was the worst time it was. It was the worst it was at because it steadily but surely got better. If you got this for sealed, and I still think it's worth to get sealed, this is worth it. I think that if we ever got smaller, like $15 products, this is basically. I know people might want to put it in A, but I just think it's S. We got a lot of reprints we needed. We got a lot of iconic, cool cards we needed. I like the combination they did as well. They experimented in one. Beautiful. I'll put it at an S. So for Ghosts of the Past, I'm gonna put this in C because this set was very overhyped when it came out, and the quality of the Ghost Rares, because Ghost Rares are coming back, were actually just as bad, if not worse, than we got Ghost Rares in the past. Because if you guys know, a lot of Ghost Rares come light play because of this, how easy their foiling scratches. So meaning that a lot of them come light play because the picture is just so scratched up. And with Ghosts of the Past, a lot of people are hoping the product quality, including myself, was going to be a lot better. It turns out it was not. And that's one thing that sucks. The reprints were very hit or miss. A lot of them were pretty bad, but we got some good ones. We got Emergency Teleport, amazing reprint. Evenly Matched, great reprint. We got Heretic Seal, Fog Blade, and we got Black Meteor Dragon. That was a great ultra rare to put in there. We got Orchestrated Return. There are some good cards, but there's just, for every hit, there's like so many misses. And yes, Ojama Country is a good reprint. The issue is the reprints in this set could not sell it fully, right? Ojama Country, obviously being a $10 to $12 rare, and if you want to play Ojamas, you're going to need that card. And they get a holographic reprint. Awesome, awesome. But nobody's buying this to get Ojama Country, right? And that's the biggest problem this set has, along with you're realistically not pulling a Ghost Rare. And the reprints and the value was not there at the time of this release. However, even to this day, a lot of the value isn't there. Like, Evenly Matched over $20. Emergency Teleport's like a $7, $8 card. There is some value, but it's definitely a singles-only territory. And the Ghosts overall actually weren't that good for a selection. It's overall a C, but this set was very, very overhyped. Now, let's go to something else here. Let's go to Dawn of Majesty. I'm going to put Dawn of Majesty in C, and I'm going to explain why. Now, it could be going up to B eventually, but I'll start with C. So, the first things first is the Starlight Rares, besides Stardust, really aren't that good. They needed to make a Despia card a Starlight Rare. Why they didn't, I do not know. They could have made, obviously they gave 2 to Starlights to Stardust. That's completely fine. I think those are, because we got the Majestic Star as a Starlight Rare as well. But we can't include Starlight Rares that heavily. The issue with this set is that you could pull the 2 best. There was, for the longest time since this was released, up till Burst of Destiny, a little over Burst of Destiny, is that you could pull the best 2 secret rares and not make your money back. This set did not impact the meta at all. However, the cards are good. I think Condom Fusion, aka Ready Fusion, is a good card. But it's not that great, especially because it's a repackage of another card that could be stronger in certain terms, especially if they ever put Instant Fusion at 3 or, again, or even 2. I think Condom Fusion would be very useless, right? Yes, you have the Gesture card in here for Despia. That's pretty good. You got some great cards for Synchro players. And it's overall a very fun set. The artwork is amazing on a lot of these cards, but overall it's a C tier set. I know that people might want to argue that's D. I'll argue that's C, but if in your list it's D, which, by the way, I want to hear you guys' list in the comment section below, right? Just tell me, right? And, because I like, saying other people's points and all that. Now, the structure deck, Dark Strike. I'm going to put this... You know what? I'm going to put it in S. Now, I'm going to... Well, okay, the reason why I have to put in S is because, number one, the reprints were good, right? Best one being Imperm, but there were a few other good reprints as well, but the Imperm really sold it, number one. Number two, a lot of people love playing, Cyber Darks, right? It's a fan favorite archetype, so they made a fan favorite archetype for collectors that has one of probably the best reprints they put in a structure deck since these two, right? And they obviously put, gave us Heartbeat Feather Duster a little bit later as well. Now, not only that, but this is also meta relevant because people actually did play this because you could easily lock your opponent out of the extra deck. People were taking 3 seal to their locals and doing well. And at the end of the day, if you could buy 3 seal, take it to your locals, and do fairly well with it with no adjustments and have fun, then at the end of the day, they made an amazing structure deck. There's nothing more that we can ask for this structure deck, and that's why it needs to go into S tier. Right? And by the way, obviously, if you see, like, let's say the tin here in A and the structure deck at S, it's a little hard to compare a reprint tin to a structure deck. So don't be like, oh, wow, you thought the tin was, like, overall better than, the structure deck, or you guys get the point. Let's go for Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm. We're going to put this in... We got to put it in B. And I'm going to explain why this is our first entry in B. We'll start with the positives. Number 1, has a very cool looking Ghost Rider. Issue is it's not that good. It's very irrelevant, at least for now. However, it has some good cards. You could pull a $110 to $130 card, being Baron, and it's not as short print or as bad as like Immortal, Adjusted Gold, or Malicious Bane, and you could use it in multiple decks, right? The boxes are also very, very cheap. Unlike, when comparing this to Immortal Destiny, where if you as a hero player want to at least take a chance on a box, if you decide to, which, would have been a gamble, you're paying $70.75. You're paying $45.50 for this box max if you're buying it on TCG Player, which I think is pretty good sealed if you want to go grab it on TCG Player. You have the 1 in 12 chance of it being a ghost, but I've seen people pull 2 out of their cases fairly decently, which makes back your box. You can pull Baroness, triple your money, right? What about the other cards, though? Well, while there's not a crazy amount of value, you do have Bird Up and the Lyric cards that, even like the Ultra that's an XYZ, maybe it's not worth that much, being $3, but it is a meta changer card. This set changed the meta through Baroness and Lyric. The issue is that a lot of the set besides that is... No. All of the rest of the set is irrelevant. Nobody's playing Speedroid. The reprints are okay. It's mostly about the new cards. The reprints fell flat on their ass, in my opinion. For the set, it's pretty good. Gave the format, not only, birds, but Baroness as well. It just has a lot of flaws. The next one we're going to put here is... Let's go King's Court. You know what? I'm going to put this in... yeah, I cannot put in A. I'm going to put it in B. Because this set's pretty good. The reprints were pretty good. Monstrosity was a good reprint for its time. Lightning Storm is a 10 out of 10 reprint. And it has a lot of awesome, awesome collector cards. From the collector rare Joker stuff, and the Joker support, to, the secret gods as well. That is also pretty neat as well. The collector rares were chosen pretty well, I like to say, especially the generic cards, because we also got Rivalry, etc. We got Utopic Future, great Ultra as well to have, and the Ultras are really, really good. The only issue is that the set lacks having a lot of value in cards that it should. I've talked to a lot of vendors, including being a vendor myself, and the issue with this set is that some of the collector rares, like Joker Straight, being not even worth tracking, and a lot of the other collector rares, is that they fell off so badly that they're not worth selling, and there's an abundance of it because this set got massively bought out. The set is overall good, it's just it has value problems, and it didn't really touch the meta too much besides one card. So it's a good collector set. It could have been a little bit better overall. As a collector set, if it was just purely collector, it would be an A, but overall I'm going to put it in B. Now, if you guys have stuck this far into the video, I just want to say thank you so much, honestly. That hit the spot. By the way, Mountain Dew Gingerbread Snap, this is not good. I'm just finishing off because I bought it, but it's bad. Mountain Dew Tier List, by the way, if you guys want to see it. Might do a poll, actually, on that. So, the rest of this stuff over here, let's go with Maximum Goal El Dorado. Now, El Dorado I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna put it in A. The set gave us probably some of the best reprints we could have asked for that were outside of the tins. Obviously, it could give us like Droplet. Sure, it could have gave us Rise Up for Flunderies. I think that would make this set amazing. We had Access Code, we had Extract, we had the Altar IP, we had all the cool iconic cards. You know, we had Invocation being an S tier reprint, Chimera being like almost an S tier reprint. We had so many amazing reprints in this set. You know, we had all the, you know, the Altar arts were pretty good. Rescue Cat being an S tier reprint, etc. The reason why it falls into A is because the product quality is shit. It just sucks. It's just so bad. There's so many times where I see people's cards destroyed, right? And every gold set has this, I guess, since Maximum Gold, and it just sucks. That's why it's going to A tier. But overall, probably one of the best reprint sets I've seen. Burst of Destiny, we're gonna put that. We're gonna put an S. Reason why we're putting an S is because number one, it has all the new branded stuff. Number two, Sword Soul are extremely tier one. Then we also had Flunderies, which is pretty good as well. I don't know if people, I don't know if I call it tier one, but pretty good. We had DPE, which basically completely changed the meta. It has a few nostalgia cards as well. The Starlights, overall, are average, right? I don't like Shadows and Starlight, I'm going to be completely honest. But the set has a lot of value. The Ultras have value. A lot of the secrets have value. You have multiple secrets that are worth a lot of money. And this set overall, value-wise, is good. Completely changed the meta. And it has a thing or two for the collectors. Definitely an S tier. Probably one of the best core sets we've got in a while. Then we got Brothers of Legends here. We're going to put this in... This is hard. Fuck it, we'll put it in A. No. We'll put it in B. I'll explain why. So the set overall is pretty good. It gave us some awesome shark stuff. It gave us, droplets. The reprints like Nibiru were pretty good. We got the hero reprints we needed. We got Magician Souls, and that's great. The reason why this has flaws, number one, we're getting Magician Souls and those hero cards reprinted in Legendary Duel Season 3, right? Which, overall, we didn't think they were going to be Brothers of Legend anyway, so it was a nice surprise, but I feel like they put it in because of bad reception to this. Like, a lot of people were not happy with it. Yes, it has Astral Krebo and a lot of other great reprints. But my issue is a lot of people want to not buy Magician Souls because it's going to get reprinted. A lot of the cards value have dropped, and they should be way higher than they should be, meaning that this set has a lot of penny stocks, but overall is not worth opening up right now at all. Droplets is so short print that's worth getting the original, so it does not serve the reprint. Like, I've seen people, there's one guy who pulled more Astral Rares than Droplets. That's absolutely ridiculous. They did not reprint Dragoon as an Ultra, which they should have. It's good. It has some good ones, but it has a lot of flaws, and that's why I can't put an A along with product quality is crack. I mean that, by the way. It's really bad. Now, the next thing we're gonna put is we're gonna put the Blue Eyes thing. I'm not really gonna grade this well because I can't really call it a product. We're just gonna put it in C because I feel like it's its own separate topic. Oh, it's like a thing purely for collectors. I don't really have that much of a strong opinion on it. It is what it is. We're just gonna go through the OTSs here now. OTS 15. This had probably the worst ulti, which is Requiem. I'm gonna put it in C. No, it had Hulk as well, I believe, though. So the issue is the ultis here came kind of late. The super rares were okay; they weren't that pog, and they kind of got outdated by the tins, repairing some of the super rares as secret rares. I believe Punishment was a super in here, and it got upgraded to a secret. So it had some good cards, I guess. 16 is an S. It had droplets. It had Cyber Dragon. Firewall was kind of cute, I guess, but it wasn't really that good. The supers were good for its time, but it got a little outdated. But overall, pretty good. You know what? We're gonna say could have been fantastic because if they did not put Firewall and they put something else instead, it would have been S. Then we have 17. 17 is gonna be pretty good. Has some flaws. Imperm, 10 out of 10 ulti. Then we had OTS, then we have Utopia, awful. Again, really, really bad. And that's another thing that kind of put down King's Court a little bit is, some of the collector rares kind of went down because of future releases, and OTS 17 was just kind of copying that. Ulti Utopia is garbage. Just one of the worst picks. Blackluster Soldier is just lazy because it kind of follows the Firewall example, and how we're going to see this otherwise is if we have an expensive card that needs to reprint, Konami may choose to make it a Ghost slash a ulti first, or even both a Ghost and an ulti in terms of 17, because we already had Ghost Blackluster and we did not need ulti. I think 2 out of 3 of the ulti picks were just bad, and the super rares are anything to write home about. In fact, I am very curious. You know what? No, we're putting it in C. The supers are bad. It has some good cards, I guess. Yeah, this shouldn't be anywhere above. But overall, I want to know what you guys think of this list in the comment section below. Pretty good year for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because we had a lot of A's and S's, and some B's, right? And we didn't have as much bad product, which was kind of nice here. But let me know in the comment section below what your list is. Thank you again. Please go subscribe to Nerd In for me. It would really make me feel great. Harv Cardman also has his own channel, probably somewhere, if you want to sub to that as well. But let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.